It was the 1960s, in the fall. A mother went out to check her chickens with her daughter, carrying an axe. A father goes to check the cattle, armed to the teeth. Why were these people so terrified? Why were they carrying around weapons wherever they went? Hi, I'm Cheese, and today we're talking about the crazy man of Dismal Swamp. So, the crazy man of Dismal Swamp. Quick, I'm going to throw this out quick. This actually happened. I know this happened because we have recorded proof in a newspaper. My grandma had the newspaper, but it was donated to the museum. And as of today, when I talked with her, we will be looking for that newspaper. But in the meantime, I wanted to get this story out. And to do that, I'm using the campfire version. So it's going to be exaggerated. It might be false in some spots. But after I give you the story, I'm going to run down what I think is the truth, what was exaggerated, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. But I don't think this is the right place to do it. I'll be back. That's better. So, back to where I was. It all started in a small area where my grandparents were born. When I'd go up to visit them, I'd drive past this area called the Berlin Wildlife Management Area. Well, known by the locals as Dismal Swamp. Now, Dismal Swamp is approximately 556 acres, but some accounts specify 960 acres. And well, in the 1960s, it got a little bit exciting. So now I'll settle up next to this fire. It's pretty hot, so I'm going to keep this quick. So, our story begins. In the afternoon, two parents arrived back at their house. They left their two teenage boys at home to look over the place when they left. Now, they were expecting things to be in order when they got home, but when they walked through the front doors, their jaws dropped. The house was trashed, ransacked, absolutely destroyed on the inside. When they found their two sons, they were mortified. And when they asked what happened, they went pale. They opened their mouths and they rambled on about this crazy man that came from the swamp. Brandishing an axe, he came in the house, ransacked everything, and ran back out into the swamp. Now, of course, parents were shocked, but they believed him. Word got to neighbors and the local sheriffs, and soon that night, people started talking about this crazy man. Next day, they started to get a search party sorted together. Approximately 20 to, if I remember correctly, 200 volunteers and the local sheriffs and police department. They formed search parties. They scoured every inch of the swamp. They searched high, they searched low, they checked barns, underpasses, anything. They were looking for this crazy man. Of course, and since the kid said he had an axe, they were armed. People went outside, they were armed. No one wanted to go outside and risk running into this crazy man. And of course, as days went past, the FBI came down, apparently. So now at the FBI, they were scouring the swamp. Looking high, looking low. But no one could find anything. Not a trace. Nothing. It's like he vanished into thin air. Of course, time went on and eventually the searches died down. But no one really knew. Who was this crazy man? Why did he come out of the swamp? Was he a hermit living in a culvert? Was he just a crazy neighbor that hid his tracks pretty well. Well, the truth came out when the two sons who originally started the story told the truth. They threw a party. This whole thing, this wide manhunt, this search for a crazy man, all because they threw a party and didn't want to tell their parents. Of course, no one knows what the punishment was, but I figure it was severe. But it was kind of exciting in a way to think. And stomping grounds where relatives grew up, there was a local boogeyman for a while. Like a Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster. We had our own cryptid. Now, sadly, it was fake, like most cryptids, but this one had proof it was fake. Kind of wish it wasn't. So you can go out there and around the campfire, and you can toast marshmallows and talk about the man running around with an axe, screaming like a madman. The crazy man in Dismal Swamp. Well, like I said before, this was proven in a newspaper. They did an article. Sadly, since it's in the small area of Burlington Township, which as of the 2020 census report, had a population of 381 people. A whole township, 381 people. Now, it's been a while since I've been up there, but I'm thinking about going back up if my grandma and I can find the old newspaper that's in the museum. We believe it was donated to a museum in Eagle Bend, Minnesota, a small town. So, over this next few months, I'm going to go up there, drive up, visit, look for this newspaper, see if I can find the facts. Speaking of facts, now it's time for what I believe is true and what might be an exaggeration. Starting off with the truthful side, I do believe that yes, there was a party, yes, they said there was a crazy man, and yes, a manhunt ensued. Local law enforcement, I believe. Volunteers, absolutely. But was it 200? Considering the census said recently we have 300 and some people up here. Yeah. I don't know. 20's respectable, 10's respectable. You never know. People could have come down from up north or down south to volunteer once they heard their family was in fear of this wild man, crazy man. Yeah, up there. Maybe. FBI getting involved, if you think about it, it could be handled as a criminal case if he said he was armed with an axe. He could have the intent to harm. Would that be enough to get the FBI up there? I do not know. And another few things was, we don't know if it was one child, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, how many teenagers were at this house. But for some reason, 2 sticks in my mind from when I heard it from my grandparents. Now, as she told me, she knows people who went through this. My grandma told me she went through this, going out to check a chicken coop with her mother. And her mother would walk around with a frying pan, keeping my grandmother close, in fear of this crazy man. It's crazy to think how paranoia and fear can sweep through an area so fast, all over one line. Well, now that I sit here by the fire, I just sit there and think, what if there was a crazy man in Dismal Swamp? What if there was something to worry about? I doubt it. But yeah, what happened as an accident that spanned over a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, a month, who knows, until we can find proof. It's odd to think about. What would have been? What could have been? I can't remember what I was talking about 5 seconds ago. I'm just rambling now. Anywho, the crazy man in Dismal Swamp. That happened. It's crazy to think that some small place could have such a big story. Who knows? Maybe your county, your area, maybe you've got a big boogeyman running around. Toad man, lizard man, the bunny guy that lived under a bridge. Yeah, that was a real one. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a bunny guy. Bunny man, man with the bunny man. But in the end, it was all just a hoax, as said. Well, I've been rambling for what appears to be 8 minutes and 22 seconds on my timer for this clip. So I'm here to say, I'm Cheese, signing off. Please like, maybe subscribe, because I just do this for fun. I'm recording at midnight. I got off my shift. I work night shift. I found a shoe shoved in a toilet. Anywho, you all have a good night, and I'll keep you updated. And if I find the newspaper, I might try to interview a few people who went through this. I know I can interview my grandma, but she talks about people who remember it more vividly. So until then, stay safe, watch out for crazy man in swamps, and have a good night.